Welcome to this presentation of Should You Trade During a Holiday Week? This is the Specialist Trading Weekly Stock, E-mini, and Forex lesson. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Primo. I am the president and founder of SpecialistTrading.com. And in this week's presentation, I'll tell you my opinion as to whether you should be trading. With the upcoming holiday, I would like to just explain my views on whether you should be actually trading during this week or not. But before we begin, as always, I ask that you please take a moment to view our disclaimer. I'm going to show you some performance results on my personal opinion as to whether you should be trading during this week. But please remember that we can in no way guarantee that any of these results will be repeated in the future. So once again, please take a moment to view our disclaimer, and then we shall begin this week's stock, E-mini, and Forex lesson. Now this is a very common question that I get asked probably each time we have a holiday, whether it's July 4th or whether it's Labor Day or Christmas or even New Year's. And it is summed up in this email I received. It starts off by saying, "Dear Steve, I've heard you speak before about trading during holiday weeks, but can you please explain, should I trade during a holiday week?" Because a lot of people wonder whether it's worth it, whether they'll be stopped out with a whipsaw market, or whether you'll get these big fluid runs here that are characteristic so many times of the market during these weeks. Well, the answer is simply no and yes, because there's no real way to come up with a definitive answer per each market. Each market is different during this particular time. So let's look at what I learned on the trading floor of the Pacific Stock Exchange, because when I was trading there on the floor somewhat 35 years ago, things were not as different as they are today, because what happens is that most of the specialists or the head floor traders will take off the entire week due to the holiday. So what will happen is the people that are in charge are the assistants or the assistant specialists or the assistant floor brokers, and their main job is to not rock the boat. They don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to take on too many positions. They don't want to take on too many orders, because when their boss comes back, they don't want to hand him over something that he wouldn't want to be involved in the first place. And they don't want to have too much risk on the table when their bosses, when the specialists and the head floor traders come back. So their job is really just to keep status quo, just to keep things as they are, don't rock the boat, and just to make sure that everything is the same and in order when the head traders come back the following week. So having said that, let's look at the particular markets, the main markets that one would be trading. All right, so if you are a stock trader, if you like to intraday trade stocks, or if you like to just trade stocks for those quick momentum moves, holding position for 1 to 3 days, because of what I just explained to you, my opinion is no, you should not be trading during these holiday weeks. Okay, why? Because once again, the floor traders and the specialists, the assistant floor traders and assistant specialists, will be trying to keep things as basic as possible. They won't want to get a lot of volatility in the market, so they won't have these large swings most of the time. And therefore, if you're trying to trade, you're most likely going to be getting whipsawed, or you're going to be very frustrated. There won't be a lot of movement. So it's best just to stay out of the market. All right, what if you're an E-mini or a futures type of trader? Well, since many of the futures are based off of what happens with the stock market and the indices, I would say the same thing. Don't intraday trade or try to go for these 1 to 3 day swing moves in the market, because you're going to be very frustrated. There's not going to be a lot of movement or volatility, most likely. What about the last and final market here, the Forex markets? Well, you're in luck. I would say yes, continue to trade, because most of these markets are not based solely in the U.S. or off of the U.S. Market. What they're based off of are currency pairs that could be anything from the British pound to the euro yen. So these have nothing to do with the holidays that are taking place in the United States, so you will still continue to get that movement and that flow in those markets. So for stocks, I would say no, there's not going to be a lot of movement or volatility. Same goes with the E-mini markets. But for Forex traders, yes, it's okay to currently trade and to take signals within those time frames. Points to remember. As I stated in the beginning, as it happened when I was on the floor some 36 years ago, and as it probably still happens today, most specialists and professional traders are on vacation during holiday weeks. Doesn't matter if it's July 4th holiday or Christmas. They're on vacation. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. They think that markets are going to be slow and non-volatile, so they'll take off anyway, which adds to this slowness. And so their clerks and their assistants are going to be running the show. Therefore, I would suggest taking this time to research and review your own trading. since the clerks and assistants are running the show, they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to carry too many positions or add on to too many things that their bosses or the professionals won't want to take on when they come back from vacation. So they're going to keep things as quiet as possible. All right, so this concludes our weekly stock, E-mini, and Forex lesson as to whether you should trade during a holiday week. Remember, stocks and E-minis, I would suggest no. For the Forex markets, yes, I would continue. But as we stated, this is trading. If you are an investor, if you are holding a position for 1 to 5 to 10 years, then by all means, these have no bearing as to whether you'd want to take and carry a position or perhaps exit it. Okay, so once again, the question was just for trading, not for investing. Okay. This concludes our weekly stock, E-mini, and Forex lesson. I thank you so much for attending. Remember, I asked you to take one last look at our disclaimer here. I showed you some performance results and my own opinion as to whether you should be trading. But please remember that we can in no way guarantee that any of these results will be repeated in the future. Thank you so much for attending and watching this webinar. We give you these weekly webinars to elevate your trading, to give you a little bit more insight into trading, and to hopefully you'll be able to get on that road to consistency. Thank you so much once again. Have a great holiday week, and we'll see you right back here next week. Bye-bye.